It's one of those that I would say it's more, like I said, is safe and focused on what we're trying to do with the exercise.
Pause deadlifts or touch and go deadlifts?
Yes.
That was the answer I didn't expect at all.
Yeah, I mean,
because it answers both.
Well, here's my stance on that. You know, to get into it a little bit, because I'm sure that's what somebody's asking for. There are 3 kinds of techniques. You have safe, unsafe, and perfect technique. Okay. So long as you fall into the safe or perfect,
yeah, you're good to go.
Which perfect is bullshit. You're not going to do that with any weights worth fucking picking up more than once. So long as the technique is good, either one is completely fine.
Well, all you have to do is look at the evidence. Is some guys that do dead stop deadlifts do very well, and some guys do touch and go and they do incredibly well. One of the things I think maybe you have to take in consideration where you're weak at. So, for example, if your lockout is weak, touch and go would probably be better. If you're incredibly good off the floor, who cares? If you're very slow off the floor, maybe that's something, you know, the dead stops might work better. But you know what? Like I said, it doesn't matter. You can. People get so weird about that. It's, you know, one of the bad things about getting older. You realize, who gives a fuck?
I know that's why I wanted to bring these up, right? Because the questions were 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, you can do, and so many great deadlifters have done both. So just find, and you know, maybe this year you like to do X, and next year you want to do Y. And the good thing is, whatever you choose, you have an example of success. Just like every diet in the world works because every diet has science behind it. Every diet, like you read a book on Atkins diet or something, there's all kinds of studies. And you read a book on a vegan diet, all kinds of studies. So whatever you want to do, there's there's a rationale for it, you know. So
yeah, and that's like I would say like part of it, you know, is a thing like Jim said. It's not a huge fucking deal, but you know, my boys are starting to get into training.
Yeah,
you know, I'm probably going to watch them. You know, my older son, say his technique is more solid, he can do the touch and goes. My younger son, who's just starting to deadlift, I want you to reset at the bottom because we're doing a deadlift, not a stiff leg or a Romanian.
That's, yeah, that's a technique thing.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But it's one of those that I would say it's more, like I said, is safe, you know, and focused on what we're trying to do with the exercise. You know, whoever the fuck ass that needs to roll backwards and be like, well, what are you trying to get out of it? Same way with the bench. You know what I mean? Like, well, the kids are getting stronger. What the fuck is the importance of the bench? You know, like in college, you have a, you know, bunch of buddies, side chick, what up, have a fucking, well, I mean,
I don't even know where that.
I don't even know where that's going either.
Hear me out. Okay. You know, they're collegiate strength and conditioning coaches. They have a head coach to answer to. That's going to go, why is the fucking bench press number stagnant? You know, a dude at a high school, more likely than not, is somebody like Jim who's volunteering or is already on the staff, you know, as a wide receiver coach and lifted big in high school. So now he's a strength coach. He doesn't have to answer for anything. So it doesn't fucking matter, you know? So look backwards at it and find why is the bench important? You know, your offensive lineman knock a dude's dick stiff. Can they run block? You know, can your things like that, you know, if they're doing that, it doesn't fucking matter. You know, I think you'd find a lot of kids where he's like, oh, they're incline and they're military and, you know, the fucking 60-degree incline. Can they do 10 fucking push-ups?
Yeah, there's this.
You know what I mean? Like they can't stabilize their fucking upper bodies in space. Who gives a fuck what they bench? They're fucking kids. That's what you see all the time, and I'm just going to go on a fucking rant about this for a second. You got these fucking NAIA Division fucking 25 coaches.
25.
You know what I mean? They got their best athlete was a fucking 3-year starter on the JV team. You know, and they're worried about fucking range of motion on a rear foot elevated. It doesn't fucking matter. Little Billy sucks, and he probably, you know what I mean? Like, he's not that level of athlete that fucking needs this level of attention. And they just want to fucking, like, it's strength conditioning. These dudes make their jobs so fucking difficult for no reason. And it's mind-blowing to me.
I watched a workout at a major college football program. And during the, I don't know, a little over an hour, there wasn't a single, now, this was a strength training session, there wasn't a single weight lifted. It was all mobility. And like stuff like you were like, when are you guys going to do something? Mm-hmm. So it's just very strange. Like, I don't know, when we got rid of I say this all the time, but I keep on excising things from the program that I believe I was holding on to for personal reasons, or because, you know, maybe I thought we have whittled so many things down, it's ridiculous now. And part of it is, like Jason said, it's like, well, yeah, kid can't run a 7-minute mile, like run. Like you should be able to run. Like it doesn't matter if our rest times on our 20-yard, you know, sport-specific sprinting, like they're not gonna get any better at that if they just can't run. So anyway. So what?
Well, one of the questions that comes up, and it's not one of these here, but it kind of pertains to that, is coaches will ask me, because the kids are so deconditioned, you know, where do you begin? And it's like, fuck, you just begin with where they're at.
Yes.
You know, if they have to walk, they walk.
I get that asked all the time, like progressions and stuff. Well, I have to see the athlete first.
Yeah.
Like some kids, fucking cock diesel, dude. Just, you know, I mean, just amazing. Some kids, and I'm not exaggerating, we've had kids come in that can't even run a lap around the field. So it's just it's so varied, especially at the high school level, where a kid who is, 14 or 15 versus a kid who's 7, it's a massive difference. It's only 3 or 4 years.
But the maturity difference.
But the maturity is massive. Yeah. So we have to take all that into account. But the trick is you have to be able to be a good enough coach to fit everything in, varying levels, all training at the same time, where this kid has to do X, Y, and Z. And he's doing the same movement maybe as Johnny, you know, All-American, but you just, you know, alter things out, you know, a little bit. So the thing I don't think people quite understand is when you are actually coaching's different than personal training, is you can't have 20 guys doing 20 different programs. It just doesn't work. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, so that's where the art of coaching comes in, so.